6:30 p.m., calling our school board meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I will ask that everyone please stand. And Mr. Cox, are you comfortable in leading us in the pledge tonight?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
Never gets old.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose,
Present.
Ms. Abby Mitchell, Dr. Weaver,
Present.
Ms. Hines present, Mr. Cox,
Yes, present.
Mr. Rashawn,
Present.
President May,
Present.
7-0, we have everyone here.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item 363.25, adjournment to a closed session. I am looking for a motion.
So moved.
Support. Thank you. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Looking for a motion to move back into open session.
So moved.
Support.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We are now at item 365.25, citizens' comments, agenda items. Mrs. Hines, do we have any?
I didn't see any. Did anybody turn in any agenda items?
Mrs. Sample? You ready?
I'm ready.
You may start.
Okay. I am up here. I was up here last month talking about superintendent. I am up here opposing the hiring tonight of the new interim superintendent on 367.25 of Catherine Cost to be the interim. There is no resume listed in this board packet. Why is that? What is the board trying to hide yet again? How was this applicant selected and or brought to our district? Was it with the proper channels? Didn't know much about this, so had to do research. There is an article that goes and gives more negative drama that will follow her here from April 2023. Why do we need that and want that here? Also, she was hired in January 2025 as the interim superintendent at Hazel Park District. Why is she leaving that district and coming over here after only being there for a few months? What is going on? There is no resume, no information given to us tonight. I dare say that this is considered shady practices and that these are being presented to the public. How long will this interim superintendent contract be? Is there going to be a long extended one, or is it just going to be a 1-year contract? Reminder to this board, please, that backdoor dealings, non-transparency, nepotism, non-accountability are just a few of the items that have gotten our district into these problems in the past, let's say, 6 years. Let's not look backwards, but forward and get us out of all of this. I still support the current, as of right now, at this time, the current interim superintendent. She got us through the issues with Dr. Holt, with Dingen. She's been doing wonderful. I think she should continue on with this. I supported it last month, and I'm here again to support this. We have no information given to us by what we found, except what's in here, giving the little reader saying that we have a new interim that's going to be voted in today. Why didn't this district, the community, the stakeholders, have a say in any of this? None of us got the survey. Yes, I'm only a community member, but I'm still part of this. I still live in this district and support this district. So how come there hasn't been us having a voice in all of this?
you. Any other comments this time? Okay, thank you. We are now at item 366.25, consent agenda, and I am looking for a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
President May,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next, we are at item 367.25, appointment of Dr. Catherine Koss as interim superintendent. And at this point, I'm looking for a motion.
Move approval.
Looking for support?
Support.
Discussion. Is there any discussion at this time?
Oh, one quick question. Is she here in the room?
Yes, she is. She's right over there.
Oh, okay, right there. Okay.
Yes. There is no further discussion, then we'll look to call roll. Mrs. Hines?
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Weaver, Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. May,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. At
Congratulations.
this time, yes. And at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Koss to the podium to share with us.
Thank you all. First and foremost, I come here very humbly. The opportunity to serve your students and your community is something that I will not take lightly, and I will work tirelessly, connect with the community, connect with the staff here to keep all the good things that Jen Curry has done moving forward. She has been outstanding, and I look forward to being her colleague and working with all of you in the months to come. I can answer just a question. I was blessed to be able to help Hazel Park. They had a superintendent who had a leave, and the superintendent returned, and so that's why I overlapped with her, and they're back in good standing. So thank you all, and I appreciate your vote of confidence tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Koss. Next, we are at item 368.25, return of Mrs. Jen Curry to Assistant Superintendent role.
Move approval.
Support. Looking for support.
Support.
Thank you. Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. President May,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. We are now at item 369.25, Board of Education Committee reports. Mr. Roshan with the Student Achievement Committee report.
Yes, we had our Student Achievement Committee, Tuesday, June 10th, 4 p.m. At attendance, Ms. May, Shannon Roshan, Miss Kate Broholt, I apologize. And we welcomed, we started at 4:04. Miss Bro, I'm pronouncing her name incorrect. Miss Bro, she provided updates on our preschool preschool to fifth grade curriculum. Key points included a proposal by Miss May for a student survey regarding a philanthropic and potential PE bicycle program that would cost the district under $10K that will provide bikes for our kindergarten students to teach them how to ride a bike. and our PE program. Discussions also highlighted the need for the elementary art show. Ms. May introduced Accelerated Kids for coding instruction, emphasized their support for multilingual students and professional development. Some notable things: the math assessment team is scheduled to meet to explore AI in assessment. I expressed my interest in being at that meeting. We also talked about parent and community engagement. The committee discussed forming a district-wide parent committee. Ms. Markey and will invite Ms. Johnson to the July meeting, and Mr. Roshan will consult on adjusting the meeting times to better accommodate members. We also talked about student support services. This topic has been postponed until July, with a request from Ms. Curry to be present on the current support services available, including behavioral and academic resources. There were no citizen comments, and we adjourned at 4:55. That was it.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Roshan?
Mr. Rashawn, tell me more about the bicycles for the kindergartners.
Yeah, so.
After a 29-year career in the insurance business, I'm just wondering how many teeth we're gonna lose with this and how many times we're gonna get sued for it.
Yeah, so nationally, at the National School Board Conference, me and Ms. May came across a table that will provide bicycles for a district under 10K. I think it might have been $9,000. Provide bicycles and a whole curriculum on teaching kindergartners how to ride bikes. It's like a one-time assessment, and they have a whole curriculum. And we just suggested, Ms. May brought it up, and I concurred with her, and we suggested that we just take a look at it and see would it be beneficial to our district.
Brought to you by the Michigan Orthodontics Partnership.
Had a podiatrist.
Okay, yeah, certainly.
But no,
Yeah.
just
It bears looking
opportunity.
into, of course.
Absolutely. We talk about kids getting more exercise, getting off devices, just giving them that opportunity. So
Yeah.
something to look into.
Absolutely.
We put down mats.
I presume they keep the bikes, right?
We keep the bikes.
Yeah, we keep the bikes.
Oh, we keep the
We
bikes.
keep the
Yeah,
bikes. So
we
we just
keep the
continue to
bikes.
rotate the bikes through.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they grow so fast, in about 3 weeks, they'd outgrow anyway.
Any other questions? All right, so we'll move on to item 370.25, review and approval of business service, finance, and facilities. Mrs. Claire, with the recommendation to approve middle school science pilot resource purchase.
As presented at the June Finance Committee meeting, we're requesting approval to purchase middle school science pilot resources from Savas Learning Company. Per the recommendation of Sherry Grove, Executive Director of Middle School Curriculum and Instruction, this resource has been presented and approved by the Curriculum Council. I recommend the Board of Education approve the middle school science pilot resource purchase at a cost not to exceed $41,446.08, which includes teacher edition text, teaching materials, digital access for all students and teachers, labs, videos, all student consumables. These costs would be covered by the general fund. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Move
So
approval.
Support. Calling for support.
Support Hines.
Thank you. Discussion.
Yes. We had, when Ms. Groove presented this, we had so many questions, and I just want to say thank you for the follow-up emails. They was very beneficiary to me. So, my only concern was just, I'm like a numbers person, a graph person, just, how was it benefiting our students and our teachers, and you supplied that. And also, like it was mentioned, when we didn't have the funds, those partners partner with us and let us basically have the pilot program for free. So, you know, one hand shakes the other, and we need our community partners. But I just want to thank you. The next day, you followed up, and I really appreciate that, answering every question that the board members had. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Anyone else? Mrs. Hines, will you call roll, please?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rochon,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes, yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, and President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Claire, we're now at the recommendation to approve middle school ELA resource purchase.
Okay, as presented at the June Finance Committee meeting, we are requesting approval to purchase middle school ELA resources per the recommendation of Sherry Grove, Executive Director of Middle School Curriculum and Instruction. This purchase will include hardcover classroom novel sets for all middle school ELA and sixth grade classrooms. These classroom sets would include current new titles as well as replacement novels for the current sets that have been lost or damaged. This request was presented and approved by the Curriculum Council. I recommend the Board of Education approve the middle school ELA resource purchase at a cost not to exceed $28,000. This quote is based on Amazon Business Consortium. These costs would be covered by the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
Move approval.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Rochon,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Claire, recommendation to approve elementary math curriculum purchase.
As presented in at the June Finance Committee meeting, we're requesting approval to purchase elementary math curriculum per the recommendation of Kate Broll, Executive Director of Elementary School Curriculum and Instruction. This purchase will include the purchase of iReady K-5 student workbooks, teacher editions, digital access, and manipulatives for 5 years from the Curriculum Associates. I recommend the Board of Education approve the elementary math curriculum purchases at a cost not to exceed $817,636.13. This is a sole source purchase and would be charged to 23H grant, $148,462, and general fund, $669,174.13. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking for a motion?
So moved. Hines and Weaver.
Thank you. Discussion?
Quick question. And when we purchase this curriculum, how long is it expected to last? Like 5 years, 10 years, or like estimate, you think?
At least 5 years.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
I would, probably more. Sorry,
That's okay.
we go ahead?
No, we had a vote.
You'll-
Any other questions? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rochon,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Ms. May, President May,
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Claire, elementary studies weekly renewal.
As presented at the June Finance Committee meeting, we're requesting approval to renew the Studies Weekly subscription per the recommendation of Kate Broll, Executive Director of Elementary School Curriculum and Instruction. Studies Weekly is provided to our K-5 students to support social studies learning. I recommend the Board of Education approve renewal of Studies Weekly at a cost not to exceed $28,195.24, which will be charged to the general fund.
Move approval. Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mrs. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely, the recommendation to approve Mosel manager renewal. Moselle.
Thank you, President May. As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district would like the board approval for the renewal of Mosile Manager for iOS and Mac OS systems. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the renewal cost for $49,500, which renews the license from June 20, 2025 to June 20, 2026, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely, the recommendation to approve Incident IQ.
As
Other
Daryl
items.
Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district would like the board approval for the renewal of modules, subscription licenses, and implementation services for Incident IQ, an integrated asset management and help desk system. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the renewal cost of $40,333.67, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank
So
you for your
moved.
consideration.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion.
I just want to share, for our community and everybody that's listening via YouTube or video, we are able to pass most of these motions because at our June 5th committee meeting, our finance meeting, which is open to the public also, we discussed it. So I don't want nobody to think that we just pushing through these and have not had discussion about them, that's all. I just like to clarify things for people. That's all I have. That's it.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mrs. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
The 7-0 motion carries.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely, the recommendation to approve Inform K-12.
As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district would like the board approval for the renewal of the use of licensing for Inform K-12, an online form system. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the renewal cost of $45,449, which renews the license from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. I just have one thing that I would like to say is that I know that, in the past, it has been lifted concerns about the K-12, informed and just the process of getting things through. And I would like to thank, Mr. Beebe for lifting that in our, special meeting, our finance committee meeting, and talking about the hiccups he and, Mrs. Curry and what has been done to address those. So hopefully it will be a smooth implementation this year with that, but thank you for lifting that, bringing it back to us. If there's no other discussion, I will ask Ms. Hines to call roll, please.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely. Is it for the net cybersecurity?
As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district would like the board approval for the renewal of the Fortinet cybersecurity software. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the renewal cost of $32,523.96, which renews the license from June 20th, 2025 to June 20th, 2026, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
So moved.
Support. Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rochon?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely, Mitel support renewal.
As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district would like the board approval for the annual licensing renewal for the district-wide phone system maintained by Moss Mitel MIVBs. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the renewal cost of $35,029 for the Moss Mitel Business Phone System licensing from July 12th, 2025 through July 11th, 2025, which will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
Is there a motion?
Moved.
Support?
Support, Hines.
Discussion?
I have a question. Okay, this is a typo, because this say July the 12th, 2025 through July the 11th, 2025.
That's what I thought you were 26.
Oh,
That's a typo.
2026.
26.
Good catch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Any other?
I know, Mr. Beatty spoke at our June 5th meeting, but because we had so much trouble with our phone system, can we have the opportunity to have him speak now or no?
Sure, if you like.
You wanna speak about how it's gonna be better next year? The new, well, new and improved, I know it's a renewal, but, you know, I know he had conversations with them.
All right, thank you. Good evening to the board. So yes, we've definitely made some upgrades related to the system in terms of really expediting what we do in regards to our backups in result of if we have any other kind of situation or cyber attack and whatnot. But once again, we have fortified the system and it's been tested and proven. So we're looking forward to next year, and we believe we won't have any issues or any problems. And we're still working towards a few repairs that we had from the cyber attack, but for the most part, we're set and ready to roll for the next school year.
Thank you, we appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Hines.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rochon?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Claire, approval for food service contract renewal, or recommendation, I'm sorry.
As required by the Michigan Department of Education, I'm requesting approval to renew the contract for the food service management for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 with Aramark Education. This renewal has already received MDE approval. This is their first calendar year renewal, or fiscal year renewal, actually, of the contract since the contract was awarded to Aramark at June 2024 board meeting. This award was a result of MDE request for proposal process and the recommendation of the district's Food Service Management Bid Evaluation Committee. Under the terms of the original contract, both general and administrative fees and management fees charged by Aramark on a per meal basis may adjust with inflation. The 2025-2026 proposed increase for general and administrative fees is 3.1%, and the proposed management fee increase is 3.1%. This equates to an increase in general and administrative fees of a little over 6 cents per meal, and an increase in management fees of a little over 5 cents per meal, using 1,684,922 as the total meals served in 23-24. This equates to an overall fee increase of approximately $5,728.73. The fees paid to Aramark are funded through revenue generated by the district's food service program.
Thank you.
Move
Do we have a
approval.
motion? Thank you.
Support, and I'd like to speak on it.
Absolutely.
Have we talked with Aramark about our More Nutrition, More Delicious initiative?
Toko is gonna do that.
He knows about that?
Yeah, he's
Okay,
just taking that on.
okay. That's a no.
That's a no.
Would you like to talk a little bit about
There's
that?
a meeting?
Do
Okay.
you want to talk a little bit about that? I know it's a follow-up from the conversation we had during the special meeting.
Well,
but
we,
share.
talking about the food service contract, and for those that might not remember, a couple of years ago, the board met and had lunch, and what we had for lunch is what the kids had for lunch. And man, that's all that needed to happen, because we put a change right then in the way we wanted to be treated, and to their credit, they have stepped up. And we're interested in them stepping up more, frankly. We'd like the kids to have food that's more nutritious. Maybe it costs a little bit more money. Maybe it takes longer to prepare. We would also like the food to be more delicious. And we're in a position to be able to do that. And after all, these are our kids. So, you're gonna spend $40,000 on a copy machine. I'd rather spend the money so the kids have excellent meals. So that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you. With that, if there's no other discussion points, Mrs. Hines, will you call roll, please?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Abby Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. President May,
Yes.
motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. I'm not sure who's doing this one. The recommendation to approve the notice of withdrawal from MAISL, or MAISL, a joint risk. Is that
That's
you?
me again.
Okay.
After a thorough review of the current insurance coverage, I'm writing to formally recommend that we transition away from our existing insurance provider, Maisel, effective 7/1/2026, which is a year from now. We have to give a formal notice that we will be leaving them. They've been a good company over the years, but I've gotten a quote for $116,000 less from another carrier. So I need a motion, so let them know that we would like to transition in a year.
A motion,
Support.
Discussion?
I'd like to say something.
Yes.
We recently received some information about districts being told that they weren't covered for something that might well be an eventuality. And because there's so much uncertainty right now, that, in terms of what's going on in Washington and how it's gonna affect Lansing and how it's gonna affect us, I just wondered, I would like to read every single word of the quote to make sure that there's no difference in, how claims that are incurred but not yet reported, and all of the other contingencies that can happen. As you said, we've been with Maisel for a long time, and, it's easy to come in when you're the new guy and come up with a better price. I don't know if I'm ready to. I remember I asked you, it's absolutely certain that we could tell them we're not going to
That's
renew
right.
with them, but still renew with them?
Right, in a year.
Okay. I'm good with that,
When you
but
said in a year.
before we change any
Yeah, this is
carriers-
just giving them a 1-year notice.
Right, but we can still
But-
change our mind within that 1 year. Okay.
Correct.
When you said 1 year, I thought wanted to just make sure I understood. Okay, thank you.
I'm good with that.
You had something?
Because
Abby
my
Mitchell?
concern was, you said that they have been good to us, but the rates has been increased. Did we, sometimes you can tell them that, I found a cheaper carrier. Can you guys, can I get any comparison or, negotiate a little bit?
Right, I got the
Especially
quote.
if they've been good to us.
Yeah. I got the new quote for this coming up year, and it's the $116,000 more than even. with
Yeah,
them.
I'm just wondering, like he said, sometimes it can be something up under that we missing or something cheaper, a higher deductible or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this just gives us the ability to do it. We don't have to, but I do have, I have to give them a year notice.
Yeah, that's a
So
lot of
if we,
money.
we can do.
What is the total amount that we give them?
$863,201 per year is the, our renewal for this year. And I have a quote for $747,102, right, from another carrier.
So you are the person that reviews those contracts. Do we have legal look at those at all? Or no? We've never done that, and I don't know as well.
I have legal look at some contracts.
Okay.
If they're confusing, or like selling the property, I don't feel comfortable, stuff like that, I have them look at that.
Okay.
But I can certainly have them look at this, but again, it would be like in a year. I'll have them do some more analysis, I'll bring it to you. You'll have another opportunity to tell me no at that time, if you want to.
Yeah, as long as our rights are reserved, I'm fine with the yes.
Yes.
100,000 is a lot of money, you know, it ain't a $50,000 increase or decrease. That's a lot, and compared to next year, a lot of things is gonna happen between now and, we don't even know ourselves, nobody knows.
Mr. Ambrose, you wanted to say something?
As long as that we have the ability to shop around, I don't think it hurts to see what other companies offer, but still have the ability at the end of the day to go back to Maisel if that's what we want to do. I think it's a win-win because competition could be in our benefit with this.
So would Maisel be the same price, or would Maisel be the same price, so we go back to them and say, hey, we decided to keep y'all, so now I raise this 50.
Well, they'll give us a new quote, this
yeah.
is the quote for this year,
Oh, yeah.
and they'll give us a new quote for that,
And it'll be $50,000 more.
Could be. You wanted to say something, Mr. Cox?
Yeah, but that kind of nails it right there. No, I guess I'm fine. I'm still fine with the yes. I'm almost wondering if the Board of Education should every single year, as soon as we agree, send them a letter that we're gonna cancel next year, always reserving our right to go out for
Right.
bids. Keeping them on a footing where they know that it's our policy to look at opportunities and just do it as a matter of course.
That's a good
I
idea,
think we
really.
should. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
No other discussion, Mrs.
I
Hines?
just had this one, yeah. And thank you for that hard work, because we're in the insurance industry ourselves, and a lot of times with the prices, it's kind of hard to negotiate, and they're always going up. So thank you for doing the due diligence and saving us that $116,000, because that's money we can use to the classroom. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Nothing else, will you please call roll?
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, Mr. Roshan,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. Recommendation to approve the 25-26 tax levy. Say, Mrs. Claire?
Yes, I'm asking you to approve, the L 4029 that allows us to, tax, our, cities and, for this next year.
Move approval.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Roshan,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Claire, I believe this one is you also. Recommendation to approve resolution approving application for the preliminary qualifications of bonds.
We had a preliminary meeting with the state. We made some corrections, and we have sent that on. I'm just asking for your approval for the state to go ahead and approve us for, to go forward with $125 million of bonds for the use of roofs, technology, parking lots primarily,
Walker
Thank
Winter.
you.
and Walker Winter that didn't get done before.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? I just have one question, and looking at the documents, for the subtotals by grade, and I don't know if this matters or what this is, but like they have the enrollment, so they have the preceding 5-year enrollment, and then they have the current enrollment. And that number doesn't seem to match our enrollment. How does that work?
The Innovative Academy, there was some question of whether that would continue or not. It doesn't affect our ability to go forward, so they discounted some of the amount of the kids in the Innovative Academy. So we probably could have argued, but it didn't make any difference for the application, so I didn't bother.
Okay.
Whether that trend would continue, they were questioning whether that trend would continue. So we have enough utilization in our buildings, it didn't affect the application, so.
So the enrollment trend, not the program itself continuing?
Right,
Okay.
right. They, and it wasn't what they were questioning it was just, whether that, it's been a nice increase, and it's like big. And they don't like things changing big. They want to spread that. And so, they didn't want to accept that it was going to keep going on that trend. So they, they cut it back a little. And it didn't affect our application at all, so I wasn't going to argue with them.
Okay, thank you. Just notice the difference, so. Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Armbruster,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. We are now at the recommendation to adopt the 24-25 general fund operating budget, the final amendment resolution.
Okay. I can do whatever you want, but I could go through the PowerPoint, and then if you just have questions on the individual budgets, I won't, bore you again with that, but I can certainly do that if that's what you want. So you'll be approving the 2024-2025 final budget, and then the 25-26 original budget, the starting one. Okay, this is a lot of technology for me. Yes.
Would it be appropriate at this time to ask the president, since the board has already seen the numbers, if we could dispense with the presentation?
So the only concern that I would have is just that the public may not have seen the numbers.
The public wasn't invited to the last meeting?
They were.
Okay.
But we didn't have many present, and we have quite a few here this evening.
Mhm.
So I think just going through the PowerPoint
Okay.
will be sufficient.
Okay, so in the PowerPoint, I discuss what is general fund, what is going on in the general fund, and property taxes, rental of buildings, Medicaid fee, the state, our per pupil funding and state categoricals. We get a little bit of federal in the general fund, but it's mostly in our grant fund. We get money from RESA too, for special ed, an enhancement millage and a special ed millage. And then we have indirects that we get from doing the grants. So general fund gets a little bit of that. The estimated revenue for the end of the year is $139,937,802. Expenses, $138,666,037. A net income of 1.2. Estimated fund balance of $33,442,129 would bring our fund balance to 24.12. which is obviously nice. MSBO recommends a 15 to 20% fund balance, so that is definitely positive. The purpose of the fund that is to educate children, run the school buildings, provide transportation, state reporting, pay bills, salaries, benefits, and support classroom needs as whatever's needed. For the new budget for general fund, only thing I've done is I added 400 per student in the revenue because on the revenue side, I didn't add anything except the 400. There's all kinds of talk, and we still don't know yet. The state doesn't have a budget, so I didn't feel comfortable. They're talking about giving us more money, but taking away some of the categoricals, so it's just a game of moving the money around. So I just stuck with the most conservative of just if we only get $400. Additional revenue probably will be forthcoming, additional state revenue, new grants, sale of land. And also I've estimated in the new budget, the new raises and the purchase of curriculum of $1 million that we've talked about this evening. Are you okay? Okay, one more. Special ed fund is funded by state aid, Wayne Risa. It's our center program environment. It nets to zero. We do get some indirects and some rent, but there's no loss or gain on that fund. I estimated the same for next year because I have no better, except until we know how many kids are going to be in it or anything. The grant fund is title, ESSER, there's Filter First, at risk. This fund always nets to zero. The expense is equal. I just estimated the same for next year until I have more information. It will always net to zero. It doesn't affect the fund balance. It doesn't have a fund balance. Food service. It provides indirects to the general fund, and we get federal funds, state funds, adults, sales, catering, a la carte, and it makes a small amount, which we will be using part of to have a higher grade food.
Everybody gets cake and coffee.
Yes,
Well, they get coffee.
we're having fillets
Fillets,
in the classrooms from now on. Sinking fund is property taxes and interest, and that fund's used to do major repairs to buildings. Buses, we've used them for security cameras. The bond fund, we will be finishing that up this year. This will be the last time we see that bond fund until the year after next. They're for the large upgrades to buildings, and as you've seen our buildings, it's done a lot. Made them real nice. Debt retirement, we're just paying off costs related to the bonds, and I left that the same. The payments are pretty close to the same, and the taxes, they'll be a little higher, but it's pretty much just to pay that fund off. All of our funds, are positive. It looks good for this year, and next year it will still have a positive towards the fund balance, but not as much because we're going to be using some of our cost for curriculum. So that's it.
Thank you so much.
Any questions?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
So your $400 per pupil is based on about how many students?
I use the same number that was on the state aid
Okay.
status report. No increase in students.
Do we have a motion yet?
No, she was just asking her question from her presentation,
Yeah.
so that's why we didn't do it. All right, now we'll take a motion.
I'll give one. So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Any other
Um,
discussion?
we did already.
Yeah, no, you just had a question for the thing.
So we have two separate motions. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I was just
Okay.
doing the first one.
Okay.
We got it. So this one, everyone knows is for the 24-25 amendment. All right. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Ms. May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Now we're looking for the recommendation to adopt the 25-26 general fund operating budget resolution, which you've gone over that as well. Do you have more
Yes.
for that? Okay. I'm turning over you. Do you have more? No?
No.
Okay.
I kind of did them both together.
That's what I thought. Okay. So now I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion?
Just a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so very much for all your hard work and dedication. We appreciate you. And hope you have some time to enjoy yourself for the summer.
Thank you. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next, we have the item 371.25, review and approval of administrative services. This one is in regards to the Michigan High School Athletic Association and membership resolution.
Move approval.
Support.
Discussion? Does anyone have any questions?
Am I the only one cold?
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
We are now at item 372.25, review and approval of policy and administrative regulations. Dr. O'Feely, policy 2006.
As presented at the May board meeting, I'm requesting approval for the updated policy and administrative regulation changes as recommended by Kevin Sutton, attorney at Miller and Johnson, for the discipline alignment policy 2006.
Looking for a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? I have a question. So we're looking at policy 2006, behavior. But under behavior, there's the personal electronic devices, and there seems to be a recommendation there. Is this falling under that, or is it just?
Yep, so everything that was shared in the May board meeting highlights the items, and it was slight changes as far as technology was concerned in the 2006 behavior portion.
So when I asked about that at the last one, I was told we weren't doing that. So this is the one about the away for the day requirement. So is that where we're now voting on a policy for no cell phones?
No.
Is that the way I'm reading this?
No, these are just in the document that was shared, they had some language that was added, the red.
Yep, I'm reading it. Whereas away for the day requirement, students are not permitted to use personal electronic devices during the school day unless required by law. Personal electronic devices must be turned off and kept out of sight in lockers or cubbies. And I thought we were discussing this. I didn't know this was gonna be, like, this is where I'm trying to figure this out. Is this the,
Yep,
This is what we're doing?
This is what's being presented to the board at this time.
so we have the behavior under 2006, under student code of conduct. That's what my understanding was, because I asked about this last time, and I was told we weren't doing that yet. But now we are doing that. We're doing the behavior, the update to the
Yep, so all of the.
behavior, and then we're also including a no cell phone policy under that.
So all of the recommendations that were coming
Okay.
from Mr. Sutton are what's being recommended today.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
I'm confused. What did you say?
that the items that were provided to the board at the previous board meeting is what's being presented today to be voted on.
To be voted on, to be implemented.
Yes.
So not for it to go to our policy committee,
It
for
already
them
went
to
to the
draft for
policy committee.
committee. So this is from policy.
It was presented at the policy
Policy,
committee.
okay,
And now it's
okay.
being voted on to be implemented for the upcoming school year.
Okay, okay, okay.
Is this time sensitive?
Well, these are recommendations that we'd like to get implemented for next school year.
So for me, I'm not comfortable with the cell phone one. We were supposed to have a discussion around that. We were supposed to have community engagement with that one. I asked about it at the last meeting and was told that this wasn't a part of that. So I'm a little confused on this. And I asked, had a conversation as well with Mrs. Curry about it, and we talked about it being a part of a bigger conversation than just coming through in this manner. So I'm not comfortable with that piece of this. The other pieces, I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
So, and that's just me.
Well, if I may, I certainly don't have any problem, regardless how I feel in its current state, talking about it. Because I think one of the issues that was brought up, okay, we're going to establish a policy, but who's going to enforce that policy? And what does that look like? And I voice support for control of this cell phone issue, but I want to know exactly what we're doing, what we're getting into, what we're going to change the policy to, and how the administration is going to address that. Because what we're really doing, when you tell a student, a child, that they can't have their phone, is you're taking property away from Americans, and they just don't like that. You know, it's their property.
So just to clarify, every school already has technology rules that they're asking kids to follow. This is just more governance that's gonna be district-wide that speaks to how we see some of the changes that need to be made.
But what are the guidelines? So we tell them to put the devices away. We don't wanna see the devices, period. You know, if they put them in a locker, they put them in a bag, and then the property come up missing, where is the liability? And, you know, we just need to have conversation with the community and most definitely our staff. You know, how it's gonna be enforced, who gonna be responsible for it? Is our teachers gonna spend 30 minutes a day telling people to put property away or sending them to the office? Is they gonna be disciplined and how and what and all that?
Yeah, so at this time, if the board doesn't feel comfortable with this motion, or with this recommendation that's being made, I understand.
I just had a quick question.
Go ahead.
Isn't some of these things already being implemented into the classes already?
You have different schools, so the high schools treat this technology a little bit differently than the middle schools, and it's not that much of an issue at the elementary because they don't have the same access to cell phones. But I can tell you that most of the high schools are in alignment with how they treat cell phones, and the middle schools have all rolled out different approaches to how they want to treat technology. This just gives us a little bit of a guide. It makes slight changes to what's already in our policy.
I would like to say that I am in agreement with the no cell phone policy in our schools because of the behavior that that continues with our students as a result of social media. However, with that particular portion, it might be good for us to remove that wording until this board has a chance to get together and discuss it. I have no problem with the rest of it going through, just the cell phone policy. Let's pull that out. I make a motion that we would pull that portion out of the behavior until such time as this board can convene and discuss it.
Support.
Yeah, me too,
Yeah.
I support it.
And I'd like
Thank
to
you.
have a wider conversation, not just with the board. I would like
Right.
the teachers to be,
Everybody.
I'd like to hear from everybody who's gonna be
Yes.
affected by this.
Absolutely.
There most definitely need to be a policy. I agree with that.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Weaver, for the amended motion. We had support. Any other discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes,
7-0, motion carries.
thank you. Dr. Ophelia, artificial intelligence
As-
policy.
As presented at the May board meeting, I'm requesting approval for the updated policy and administrative regulation changes as recommended by Kevin Sutton, attorney at Miller Johnson, for the AI policy.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? I would just like to say, I am happy to see that we have been able to bring this policy forth and that we're moving, you know, in that direction and being able to provide or introduce our kids, they already have it, but showing them how to use it properly. So, thank you, Dr. O'Feely, Mrs. Curry, and the policy, committee for bringing this forth. If there isn't any other discussion, Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We are now at the recommended policy and administrative regulations as recommended by legal firm under a separate cover. Dr. O'Feely.
As presented at the May board meeting, I'm requesting approval for the updated policy and administrative regulation changes as recommended by Kevin Sutton, attorney at Miller Johnson, for the administrative regulations. Thank you for your consideration.
Looking for a motion?
So
So-
moved.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We are at, agenda item 373.25, review and approval of human resource items. Dr. O'Feely, looking at the WWESA contract.
As presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district is requesting board approval for the WISA contract for the term beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028. Our goal as a district at the beginning of bargaining was to provide a competitive and equitable contract to attract and retain WISA members, and we have successfully accomplished our goal. Thank you to the WISA bargaining team and district bargaining team for all your hard work to complete this contract. And at this time, I present the contract to the board. Thank you for your consideration.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, please call roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We are now looking at the Brotherhood of Specialized Services contract. Dr. O'Feely.
As presented at the June 5th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district is requesting board approval of the BOSS contract for the term beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. Our goal as a district at the beginning of bargaining was to provide a competitive and equitable contract to attract and retain BOSS members, and we have successfully accomplished our goal. Thank you to the BOSS bargaining team and the district bargaining team for all of your hard work to complete this contract. And at this time, I'm presenting the BOSS contract to be voted on by the board.
Looking for a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, please call roll.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. Dr. O'Feely, 2025-26 staff recognition and appreciation days.
I'm requesting that the board approve the 2025-26 staff appreciation days as proposed. The dates listed are to recognize individual employee groups for the important contributions they make to the overall success of the school district. For administrators, it will take place on Thursday, October 16th, 2025. For the maintenance personnel, it will take place on Friday, March 6th, 2026. For paraprofessional, teacher aides, and teacher assistants, it will take place on Friday, March 27th, 2026. For volunteers, it will take place Monday, April 20th, 2026. For secretaries and IMC clerks, it will take place on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. For transportation, it will take place on Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. For teachers, it will take place on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. For For nurses, it will take place on Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. And for communications personnel, it will take place on Monday, May 18th, 2026.
Thank you. Looking
Move
for a motion.
approval.
Thank you. Support.
Support.
Discussion.
And how are you recognizing them? How are they being recognized?
We've worked with our communications department and our executive team to figure out a way to highlight them on that day.
Cash. That's what they want.
Well, good contracts have been ratified, so.
Any
That
other
would be appreciated.
discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll call?
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
President, I'm sorry, Mr. Cox?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. We are at item 374.25, a recommendation to change the July Board of Education meeting date from July 21st to July 28th. And I am looking for a motion.
Support. Oh, I'm making a motion.
Looking for support. Support.
Well,
Discussion.
I'm happy to vote in favor, but I think that's gonna mess me up. Anyway,
I mess you up.
yeah, I don't think I'll be here.
Where you going? No.
So I can't support that. No, I can support it.
Any other discussion? Looking for a vote, please. So Ms. Science, will you please call roll?
Yeah, Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn?
Yes.
And President May?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. We are at item 375.25, citizens' comments on non-agenda items. Mrs. Hines, do we have any?
We have one non-agenda item, and it looks like we have Miss Melinda, is it Harms?
Harris?
Harris, I'm sorry.
Yep, come on down. Welcome back.
Been a long journey with the sick brother in Arizona, but I'm hanging in there. So do you want to tell me when we start so I can do this?
You can start now.
Okay, I want to thank Kimberly May, Jen Curry, Shannon Roshan, Kate Brill, and Kim Markey for all their support and expertise communication skills. You have given hope to parents and volunteers that our voice matters, and you truly listen and care versus shutting people down. Times are hard enough in the world we are living in. We always need to listen and respect others. You have, including all the other members of the board, shown that you have empathy and truly care about people. You have all proven it's not about power and control or how many master's degrees we've had. You have made me proud to say and share with other parents that the Board of Education will help you in your time of need. Also, at this time, I would like to compliment Wildwood on the field day I participated in. And it was so sweet. A volunteer came up to me and asked me if I needed a bathroom break. I was very impressed. Then we also had the school picnic at Wildwood. I would like to praise Ms. Babiak, the PTO, and all the volunteers for making it a joyous occasion for all families. The picnic was impeccably organized. The PTO staff was consistently making sure all bases were manned and volunteers were given instructions and on their duties and identified properly as volunteers. Praise to you all, including the volunteers. Wildwood, you are doing a great job welcoming your volunteers and parents. I want to give praise to the teachers, the school staff for all their hard work. Mrs. Ho did a tremendous job getting her children ready for all the concerts, and she deserves recognition for all her hard work. Great job, Mrs. Ho. I also want to thank Mr. Cox for bringing up the healthy food, which is something I worked on with Mr. Furka before. Okay, so I started with all the positive. Let's brainstorm and let's review the Wayne Westland District Handbook and Student Code of Conduct. I recently discovered that our district suspends kindergartners. This is just an example. Kindergarten slaps another child, and the child is suspended, and the suspension letter states number 29 in the Student Code of Conduct states assault and battery. I'm not promoting violence, but what mindset do we give to our little ones when they find out they committed assault and battery? It sets in their mind at a young age that they are criminals. I ask all of you here to think about this, and we can address this at a later date. And I also want to thank the district for compassion for me regarding my sick brother, and God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God
There are no other comments. We will move to item 376.25, interim superintendent comments. She did not leave any for anyone, right? Okay. So then we will move to 377.25, review and recommendations, Board of Education. We will start with Mrs. Abney Mitchell.
Yes, I would just like to say thank you to everybody for coming tonight. Thank you for everybody presenting. Thank you, Alex, for the outfit. Look out. But June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Our school district, we do have gun locks at each school, and the schools that's open during the summer, I'm sure they still have a supply if you need a gun lock. You know, lock those guns up, keep our babies safe. I am a applicant. I do a gun violence walk every June in the city of Inkster. I wear my orange ribbon the whole month, so it's important to me. And also, all the staff that's not working this summer, please enjoy yourself. Take some time to spend time with your family. All the staff that's working this summer, enjoy yourself. Take some time and enjoy your family. And have a nice, safe, and happy summer. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Weaver?
I would just like to give a welcome to Dr. Cost. I look forward to working with you. That are my comments for the evening.
Thank you. Mrs. Hines?
Yes, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Cost as well. I'd like to thank all the students that did an amazing job this year. I brag about my students that did $17.5 million in scholarships. Dropped the mic. On top of $3.5 million at John Glenn. That's a really great achievement. I mean, that is just, our kids are of excellence in Wayne Westland. It's just really amazing that we have the staff and the students that are willing to really put the effort to be successful. And I'd like to talk about a summer program. Pastor Gene Overman is having a free summer program at Camp Inspire. It's going to be from July 7th to August 8th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it's for third and fourth graders. Her phone number is 734-709-7806. And, you know, we definitely love free programs for the kiddos in the summertime to give them something to do. So that's going to be a great program. And then another thing, I'm the president of the Wayne Westland Kiwanis, and we heard some sad news that St. Mary's was having a hard time with their food pantry. So as the president, we decided to work with the Kiwanis, and we're going to do like a food drive over at the Westland Library. So we have a box. So if any family wants to donate some non-perishable goods, that'd be great, because that is our community. We are a community, and, you know, lack of food in the summertime can be quite scarce for our children. I also have another event. We're working with the City of Westland, Livonia Westland Chamber of Commerce. I was able to get Wayne County Community College to sponsor Schoolcraft, Twins Auto, a lot of different organizations. We're having a charity dinner at the Westland City Hall. It's going to be Tuesday, June the 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. And the money that we raise for this nonprofit, Purpose Hands, is going to go to food, clothing, formulas, diapers, childcare, vouchers, and wipes. They were talking about like how Michigan had a really high infant mortality rate with some of the children, and I didn't even know a lot of kids passed because they don't have money for wipes with infections and stuff like that. So this is a, you know, really big issue, and a lot of times with the families, when you're trying to decide to buy food, clothing, some things kind of lack. So I'm definitely excited about this event. We were able to get the Wayne County Chair Commissioner Alicia Bell. She's going to be our main speaker. Tina Williams with the grants. We have a spoken word artist, Lauren Sowell, and we have Melissa Sampe, one of our city council members, is going to be speaking. And we were able to get something from the governor's office. They're going to bring a proclamation down. So really, it's just a community event. It helps all students in Wayne Westland, and that helps on top of our Family Resource Center, so it doesn't take so much, you know, from them as well, just spreading the risk around. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ambrose?
Just want to welcome Dr. Cost to the district. Looking forward to working with you, and wish everyone, take this summer, enjoy the time, especially our teachers, and recharge, because actually, end of August will be here before we know it.
You don't say that.
What?
You don't say that.
And I'm just proud of the great school year that we've had in this district. Like Ms. Hines said, 17.5 million at Wayne, 3.5 at John Glenn. I remember years ago when my son was at Wayne alone only had 5 million. So to see the growth in terms of scholarships that our seniors are getting, and that's because of the hard work of parents, teachers, and administrators. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roshan. I'm sorry, no, Mr. Cox.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Roshan.
I'd like to mirror what Mr. Ambrose just said about the teacher. Nothing gets to the students that doesn't first go through a teacher. Nothing. And when we're talking about the telephone policy in the district, what we're really talking about is not interrupting the teacher, trying to help the child learn. And we'll come up with something, hopefully together, that works good for everybody and allows us some new tools. You know, we're at the dawn of a new opportunity in our school district, and really I'd like to point out that in spite of the fact that there's been a lot of anxiety and frustration, in fact, one of my colleagues on the board a couple meetings ago said that they were even wondering whether they wanted to stay on the board. And I can understand the frustration and the anxiety. You work so hard at something that you care so much about, and you think you're going backwards, and you want to stop it from going backwards, but you just can't because you won vote. And that's been a very tough thing when you're on the board and the vote doesn't go your way on something, and you have to afterwards get with everybody else and go down the road they're going down. That's not an easy thing to do, especially for people that are dedicated, and everyone up here is dedicated. Ms. Sample got up and talked about community involvement in the selection of a superintendent. Well, one of the things that I've learned up here is that you can't hire the best person you think for the job and then expect all of the troops to charge up the hill when that person says charge up the hill. Everybody needs to believe in the mission. And I think that we need to do the superintendent selection a different way than it's been done in the past. In the past, the Board of Education would hire some type of a consultant that would assemble the different people that were interested in the job when the job was available, which meant you had a window of that much time for someone who might be looking for that kind of a role. What we have now is an opportunity through Dr. Cost, who represents more experience as a superintendent than we've had in this district in a dozen years, I think. Gives us the opportunity to find that person, but I think we need your help to find that person. We need you involved in that process. We need you to understand what the board is looking for and what the board wants to achieve, and we need to have your help determining exactly what that is. What is possible? We have the money. We have the curriculum. The contracts are settled. There's no reason we shouldn't be full steam ahead on this together. And I know it's not going to get done properly unless we do it together. Over the last several months, there's been teacher after teacher after teacher coming up telling us what they want us to do. Well, now we need them to be involved in this process. That's what I think. Everybody in the community. Because it's not our side and your side. It's all our side. We just have a different role in the same organization. Cooperation and being able to forget what happened last week because it doesn't matter anymore. I know members of this Board of Education have been able to do that. I'm asking for the community to do that and work together in the spirit of taking advantage of this unique opportunity in time to get something that the district could really benefit from. So that's what I'm looking for. I would like to thank Dr. O'Feely and all of the people representing the different employee bargaining units that sat down and did the work to get us to the point where we could approve contracts. Thank you for all of that. What else? Oh, I just wanted to mention that the bond fund that was mentioned tonight was completed without any trouble at all. Have you seen anything like it? For 4 or 5 years, they worked in this district, and the board never heard a whisper about a problem with the construction crew. And when we first implemented that bond, the board had done a lot of conversation about should we get a construction manager to handle this? And I remember Tony Spizak at the time, and Gino said, no, we can handle it. And it was $130 million worth of construction. And look how they handled it perfectly. So thank you to you guys, and that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Roshana?
No comment this evening.
Okay, thank you. So for me, I just want to first of all start by saying thank you to Mrs. Curry, her team, as well as the teachers and the staff for a phenomenal school year. And I definitely am wishing everyone a wonderful summer. I also would like to take a moment to welcome Dr. Koss to the district and say that I too look forward to working with you. I want to speak just a little bit about the telephone policy or the cell phone policy, and I want to be clear in just sharing that I'm not in support of a cell phone policy. I really am just concerned with the implementation of a cell phone policy. So it is very easy for us to make a policy and then we go on about our day and we leave administrators and teachers to have to enforce that policy, and that's why I think it's important for us to have a conversation around what that looks like so that we're not just voting on something and then walking away from it. So I just wanted to be clear on that piece of it. The other thing is I do appreciate the words that Mr. Cox shared. I echo those words. I appreciate what you said in regards to doing a superintendent search, involving the community. Information will be coming out with a tentative timeline as to what that looks like, and it should be coming out between, I would say, no later than the end of the week, if not tomorrow. That communication will also include information, or I would say like a small vita of Dr. Koss, and I'm gonna own that. I should have had that in the board packet, and I apologize for not having a small vita in there. That's a miss on my part, so I do apologize for that, Ms. Sample, and to the rest of the community. But information will be coming out, and with that, I am looking, we have a follow-up to Board of Education questions, but that's not going to happen, and so we move to 37.9 to an adjournment.
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All right, all in favor? Meeting called at 8:35.